Hi Rasmus users. In this video, we're going to take you through how to navigate Hi Rasmus as a manager level user in the system. In this video, you're going to find the answers to things like where do I find completed sessions, access clients, users, user privileges, templates, and so much more. Let's get started. Before we start navigating the system as a manager level user, I just want to point out a couple of quick things for this video. Number one is that the test account that I'm using today is actually integrated with a practice management system. So I'll call out a couple of things related specifically to that that might not be as applicable if you aren't using an integrated practice management or if you haven't set yours up yet. The other thing is that this account is set up with our premium client licenses. So you will be seeing some of the premium features here, and I'll call all of those out. As mentioned in our video on managing your subscription, you can upgrade to premium at any point just by visiting our subscriptions page. Okay, so let's start off by what you'll see when you log in. So as a manager level user, you'll be taken to the home page and you're going to see this message of welcome. Please select a client to work with before you continue. If you don't have any clients added yet, this is going to be blank right here, but this is where you'll select the client to work with, and we'll get to that in just a second. When you click your name in the top left corner of the screen, it's going to essentially take you to your user home page. When you click home, this is what you'll see. If you're integrated with a practice management system or using a sort of scheduling tool with us, then you'll see your scheduled sessions right here as well. This My Schedule page is something that I've turned on in the user privileges, and we always recommend that you turn this on if you're using an integration or a scheduling tool. You'll see when I select my schedule, I can toggle between a monthly, daily, or a weekly view of my appointments, and I can toggle backwards, forwards, and into the present. The next is the activities section. And one thing to point out is these 3 pages right here are all going to be specific to me as a user. When I select activities and go to my activities, this is where I can see all of the activities that I have completed within the system. So all of the learners that I've worked with and any staff only activities that I have done. So it'll automatically default to the previous 7 days, but you can clear that out, and you can see, for example, we've got a team meeting example in here. There's some drive time and things like that in there as well. Next is going to be the pending signatures page. So this is where any signatures that have been requested to me, I can review them and also sign them in bulk. So you can check off any that you want to sign and click sign, and that will allow you to sign all of your pending signature requests at once. You can also filter these out by a few different things as well. Now, before we navigate to the organization-wide pages, which is anything below the line that's above library here, we're going to select a client. You can see what it looks like with a completed client setup and how to navigate on a client's page, home page. So I'm going to select Charlie Brown, and it's going to default me to his home page. This learner has quite a few different sessions set up. Sessions are collections of programs. You have to have a program within a session in order to set up a session. And in order to run a session, you have to have active programs. And we can scroll down and see all of this learner's programs that have been set up below their sessions. And that's how you actually create a session, is by selecting add to session, or you can add everything to a session at once. Scrolling down, next is the appointments page. This is also something that you can turn on within the user privileges for different roles to be able to access. And again, we recommend turning this on if you are using a scheduling tool or integrating with a practice management system. The programs page is the learner's specific programs. Now, you'll learn in some later videos how to manage your organization's program library and how to really easily create programs for learners. You can create programs directly here in the learner's specific program library or within your organization's program library. You can also access the catalog from here. But you'll learn more about program creation and the program library in some other videos. Next is the history tab. We've got a timeline view where you can filter to different types of activities or events that have happened for that particular learner. things that have happened by a particular user, different events such as a session, a behavior incident, or any sort of modifications made to programs. And then if we go to activities, this is where we can see the actual activities that happened within a session. So there can be multiple activities within a session because you might have an RBT conducting a session with a supervisor supervising that session, and that would actually create two separate activities within that session. We'll get into that again in later trainings, but you can see examples of this here where we have supervision and direct service happening at the same time. Next, we're going to go to the Progress tab. This is where you can click in and review specific program graphs. We can also see our behavior incidence data and create insights graphs here. And this is where you'll also generate a specific report for a learner based on a report template that is set up within your organization. The final client page is going to be Files. So Files essentially acts as just a place for you to store different documents and things related to your client if you'd like to. And you can also generate forms for your client here once you have those set up within your templates for your organization as well. So again, everything above this line right here is going to be related to a client. A couple other quick things to point out. This right here is where we take ABC data. They have to have a behavior incidence program set up in their programs library here. So that has to be set up for them. You can see there's this ABC data program right here, and then they'll be able to take ABC data on this learner, anybody who has access to the learner's profile. The next piece is going to be the notifications bell. So this is going to be specific to you as a user. Clicking it, you'll be able to see all of the notifications for you as a user, whether that relates to completing session notes, pending signature requests. You can view them all and be taken into your notifications page, and this will guide you as to any actions that need to be completed. Next, let's talk about everything that's below this line right here, starting with the library. Everything down here is going to be organization-wide settings. So when you click into these pages, you're going to be reviewing information, completing templates, setting up settings for your entire organization. So let's start with the library. This is going to be the library for your organization where you can store goals, add things from the catalog. You can directly add programs to learners from the library. As I mentioned previously, we're going to have more training for you on how to navigate the library and how to use it so that you can work smarter and not harder in our system when you're building out all of your different programs. Next is going to be a premium specific feature. So this reporting across all of your learners and users within the system is only available for premium licenses. So when you click reporting, you're going to see an activities page and an auditing page. Activities is really the same thing as the client history page in activities, but it's across every single learner. We can add filters, set up filter views, export information, and control the exact information that we see on the table columns here. We also have an auditing tool as well. So we can filter this down to see specific information, but this is essentially just a huge audit log for your entire organization. It monitors things such as changes made to notes, to activities, to user profiles, to client profiles, all of that good stuff right there. Next is clients. So this is essentially going to be your client list. It's going to default to all of your active clients. This is where you can add clients, and this is where you can manage their actual information and make them active or inactive in the system as well. And we'll go over this more in depth in a later training. Next, let's talk about settings. So to start off with is going to be account. When you click this, this will be for you as a user. So this is the one place it's actually not organization-wide. This is going to be your specific user account, your name, your email, the language that you're using. You can change your password here. If it's allowed through the organization, you can update notification settings and set up a multi-factor authentication as well. This is actually going to look the same for all users across the system. Next is programs. So this is where you'll set up program building blocks. We have things like the treatment areas, the prompt level templates, mastery workflows, program tags, and program data fields. We'll learn more about those in other trainings as well. The sessions tab, this is where we get into some premium features as well. We've got session prototypes. This is something that's really useful when you're using an integration specifically, but again, it's only available for premium subscription users or for premium subscription accounts. A session prototype is essentially going to be a template for a session. It allows you to use strict conventional naming across all of your sessions. And then you can also set default session notes and various other settings for your sessions. Supervision mode is also going to be a premium feature. Supervision mode allows you to directly supervise a session that's happening between a provider and a client. So a BCBA can actually go in and see what's happening real time. And this right here is where you set up the default notes that allow you to take notes and pull those into your SOAP notes as you are supervising that learner and that provider. Next is where we manage our templates. So we have session notes, forms, and reports. Those are all managed right here. You can create them and edit them all from this section right here, and that's going to be for your whole organization. Next, we've got the organization page. Users tab, this is where we manage users, inviting users, activating staff profiles, and editing user information as well. So if I click into somebody, I can require MFA, require a specific login method, so that would be single sign-on, add business units, change their role, and manage their access and linking to a practice management system. You'll get some further training here as well. We've got our user privileges tab. This is where we can create our own privileged roles. So you can create a role based off of a rate-based role within the system, but you'll get a lot more training on the user privileges also. Next are business units. These can be used in a number of different ways within the system. But the main way that business units are used is that it will allow you to give mass access to clients and users. So instead of having to go in and individually define access for each user and client, then you'll be able to say, I want everybody in this unit to have access to everybody in this unit. Client information is going to be, you can create your own custom fields to track different bits of information for a client. For example, diagnosis code, signature fields, tracking who their clinical director is, all of that good stuff. And staff information is going to be similar. We don't have any added in this account, but you do need also to have access to staff profiles currently to set these up as well. Next is authentication. This is only going to be if you use Microsoft and you want to set up single sign-on. So we're going to skip right through that to integrations. This is where you will set up your integration. And if you already have your integration set up, this is where you'll do session mapping for a few of our different integration types. Not every integration that we have allows for this session and activity type mapping. This particular account has it set up. Next is the subscription page. We have a great video on our subscriptions, how to manage it, how to update your license count, update your staff licenses, and overall manage your subscription plan. That can be viewed in another video as well, but this is where you access this, managers only. Offline access is something that you can enable across your organization for particular roles. Essentially, what this will allow you to do is choose up to 5 clients at a time that you want to be able to take session data with when you're offline. You can get more information on offline access in our knowledge base. Finally, we've got our help page. So we've got the knowledge base link. If you click this, it's going to take you directly into our knowledge base. If you click support, this is where you can request a new feature from us, visit our change log to view any and all updates that we've made to the system, or submit a bug report if you think that there might be an issue with the product. And then finally is the app information page. Again, you can visit our change log, but you'll be able to see which version of Hi Rasmus you're on. And if we have an update ready to go, you'll be able to update to the most recent version of Hi Rasmus to make sure that you have access to all of our new features and any performance enhancements that we may have rolled out. All right, I know that was a lot of information, but that covers pretty much all of the main navigation points that you'll need to be familiar with as a manager level user in the system.